Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Hello there, hello there, hello there. And welcome to Election Day. Just a reminder, lest you forgot. Important stuff. Vote yes, vote yes, vote yes on retention. That's all I'm saying. Also, it's a Tuesday, November 4, and my sister Susan is on the line. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. Anyway, yeah. So I'm nervous about the results today, but I'm feeling like things will probably go okay. I don't know. We'll find out. If they don't, we're just, our goose is cooked, because these are the elections that the party out of power invariably does well in. And of course, now, given what's going on in our country, if that does not repeat, then we're screwed, I would think. I'm just saying. So, yeah.
What do you have going? What do you have going where you are?
Well, we have the biggie is that people are really looking at is the retention races for the three of the Supreme Court justices, all of them Democrats, and the Republicans have waged a very, very expensive campaign to get them ousted. These are normally very pro forma. Retention races are, you don't even put down. It's just, did they do the job?
Right.
Yes,
no,
yes,
I
yes.
know. Yes,
Okay.
I know.
So anyway, the reason is that if these three were to be knocked off, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court would have 4 justices on it, split between 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans. And the governor, although he could put someone forward, would not, odds are anyone he would want put forward would not be signed off on by the state Senate, controlled by the Republicans. And the Pennsylvania Supreme Court would be hamstrung, literally, until 2027.
Gee whiz.
Yeah. Well, but see,
how do things get so broken?
I know.
Really.
I know. It's beyond belief. And so Republicans, this is what they want, is a broken Pennsylvania Supreme Court, because they wouldn't be able to they wouldn't be able to do anything about all of the kinds of, crazy, illegal voting repression schemes that are likely to come up between now and the next elections, the midterm and the next presidential election. So yeah, there's a great deal of concern. And then I don't know. So also the New York Times got something wrong. I just want to say. They say that there's a lot of mayoral competitions going on. That's true here in Pittsburgh. And it says incumbents are expected to coast to re-election in Atlanta, Boston, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Charlotte. Well, I got news for the New York Times. The incumbent ain't going to be coasting to re-election. He was knocked off in the primary. So that's just a glaring error on the part of the New York Times reporting today. I just want to say our incumbent Mayor Gainey, got knocked off in the primary by Corey O'Connor, who will be, no doubt, the new mayor of Pittsburgh. He ain't an incumbent. So, just saying. All righty. So, I mean, the big news that we all woke up to was the demise of Dick Cheney. And
where did he hang on longer than he had any?
Whoa!
Talk about.
Whoa! Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Talk about medical science keeping someone alive.
Wow. I mean, he carried his heart around in a suitcase for a few years, I think. He was on I mean, he obviously got the greatest medical care available, but he had a heart transplant in,
Didn't he get a pig heart or something?
No, I don't think he got a pig heart.
Or an electronic heart for a while?
Yeah, he did. Yes, he had an electronic heart, which is what I meant when I said he was walking around with his heart.
With a suitcase.
In a suitcase. I had a friend who had that as well, but he didn't have as good a luck as Cheney. And then he had a heart transplant so he could stop carrying around his heart in a suitcase. And that transplant was in 2000. No, wait a minute. Where did I see this? I mean, it's just unbelievable how long that heart.
How long he lived.
How long it lasted. His transplant was, I don't know, 2000.
But it was over a decade.
2012. So, okay, so that's over a decade, and he was already...
And at this point, he's dying, and he's lived a normal life. I mean,
Yeah. It's just amazing. He'd had 5 heart attacks, starting from when he was very young in 1978. So it does show how, the ability to keep people alive with cardiac issues is really astonishing. Anyway.
With a good quality of life, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you read his obit and
wait a minute. Depending on how one defines quality of life.
Well, that's true. But he had a obviously good one. I mean, he was one of, without a doubt, I don't think anyone contests it, the most powerful vice president the country has ever seen. And there was a lot of folks feeling that he was actually more president than George W. But man, when you look at what he did the whole time he was in, boy, what a yiko. And he was very responsible for this sort of like really moving toward this executive power, war powers, and all the stuff we're seeing Trump now going and running with. The Patriot Act that that was his baby that he rammed through after 9/11, and then after 9/11 getting us into all that stuff, all of the death and destruction that resulted. Good God in heaven. And not to mention shooting that poor guy in the face. Oh,
I
God.
forgot about
Yeah.
that for a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember thinking he was the most awful human being in the whole world. And,
me too.
And boy,
things change.
Did I underestimate the levels of awful?
Yeah. Boy, have we learned something since. Whoa. Yeah, my son has already texted me. He's apoplectic. The people are speaking well of Cheney in any way mostly because of his daughter, and also because he spoke out. One of the few Republicans who spoke out about Trump and the dangers of Trump, and openly voted for Harris. The other thing that I learned when I was reading his obituary that blew me away is that when George W. Bush put John Roberts on the court Dick Cheney that's a battle he lost with George W. He had pushed, and listen to this, J. Michael Luttig.
You're kidding.
No, because
would we have been better off.
Oh my God!
Such a principled conservative, we would have been so much better off.
Oh my God! Everything would be different. So there's one where Cheney's power didn't prevail, and damn, wow, Luttig, a principled conservative who would have never, ever, we wouldn't have seen, oh God, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Certainly, we wouldn't have a president that couldn't be prosecuted because everything they do is protected. I mean, that wouldn't exist.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I read it wrong. It wasn't Roberts. It was, he was urging Luttig over Alito, which is still fine.
Okay. I don't care.
No, still fine. Damn. Just damn. Wow. Wow. Dick Cheney. Remember, he was tasked by W when he was elected, or was about to get the nomination or whatever, to find, he turned to Dick Cheney and said, can you find me a vice-presidential candidate? And Cheney at the time, that's when he was CEO of Halliburton, I think. And yeah, Cheney went to work on it and came back with a recommendation. I've looked all around. Nobody's better than me. Which takes some guts, too. Jesus. God. Well, there you have it. The Cheneys. Damn. And I wonder about her. I do think of her every once in a while, his daughter.
Yeah, I was wondering about her, too. I mean, she's gone so silent that, I mean, you know, I can understand it, but...
Well, what's she going to do? She did her part. What's she going to do?
Right. Except endanger herself.
Well, which is what she has already done, and that I imagine her life is constrained in ways that we can't imagine because of security concerns.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. If there were just a few more principled Republicans in positions of authority, like she was, who would have stood up like her, we would not be where we are now. More balls than the boys. Unbelievable. So, there's that. You're still in Green Bay, right?
I'm still in Green Bay, and I was actually talking to my daughter yesterday and telling her that I was going to be coming back soon, and she said to me, why?
Why? Because
why do you want to be in Chicago?
Well, because she's living in Evanston, which is seeing
she's living
horror.
in a war zone.
Yeah, she is.
And is very upset because it's becoming clear to her that she has to have a difficult conversation with her 4-year-old daughter about what's happening outside.
They're chasing people through their front yards in Evanston.
Throwing gas.
And throwing gas.
They're throwing gas onto playgrounds.
I know. I know. It's unbelievable. Evanston. I mean, I lived in Evanston for years because we're Northwesterners.
Evanston because it's a diverse.
It's a lovely
inner ring suburb.
God
So There's lots of brown people there.
Yeah.
But,
well,
but they were gassing 3 blocks from my house in Lakewood.
Right.
Which is North Chicago.
Right. Well, your daughter has a point. That hasn't come to Green Bay yet, but seeing all the...
Well, there's plenty of people hiding in Green Bay.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, speaking of people of color, wow, Green Bay has changed mightily since I grew up there. Yeah, wow, what a world. What an effing world. God damn. Anyway, slightly south of where you're sitting then is Kohler, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
formerly known as Sheboygan.
Well, it's still Sheboygan.
I know, but it just always, I know, but it just cracks me up the way every time something gets hotsy-totsy, they break off in Wisconsin from Sheboygan or Kaukauna and become Pleasant Valley.
Well, but that's, yeah, well, Kohler, but Kohler was there.
Kohler was there, it just wasn't Kohler.
It was just a little teeny place, smaller than the huge metropolis of Sheboygan. But
right.
But Kohler is the headquarters of course, the toilet fixture people, right?
Right.
Right.
Well, the sinks and the plumbing fixtures.
The plumbing fixtures, known round the world. And I happened upon this thing about something Kohler invented that's so, I mean, gobsmacked is the word. And I even hesitate to share it with you all if you hadn't heard about it. But I'm going to. Kohler has actually launched a new device that you mount on the bowl of your toilet, the rim, okay? Now, when I tell you this device is essentially a camera, you will already start to, what, recoil?
Yeah, get a little queasy.
I don't know about you, but when I'm about to, sit down on a Kohler fixture, I don't want a camera looking up at my posterior. But they've got one, and it's only $599 retail.
Is it to make sure you're clean or the toilet's clean?
It's even bigger than that, Susan. It records data analyzing what you put into the bowl.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay, now
I know.
I'm vaguely not.
Yeah, right!
I even sort of pay attention to this sort of stuff, unlike you. But I mean, I don't want data logging. No, thank you.
Can you imagine? It says right here, it sends data on gut health and hydration status to your smartphone.
I'm getting more and more. How many times in the last 3 weeks has your phone or your iPad or your device just started talking, joining in conversations? How do we turn that stuff off? And meanwhile, when I try, like when I'm driving, and there is a reason that I would like my phone to respond to my voice unasked, it won't.
Well, yeah, but Susan, having driven with you, I do know that you do interact and you ask your phone to do things. I don't. So I don't have, I just refuse. I refuse to speak to inanimate objects, especially when they demand I call them by a human name. I I won't have anything to do with it. But I've been at dinner parties where all of a sudden, someone's phone, Siri will pop up in the conversation.
We'll just join in the conversation.
I'm thinking, fuck, what is
you
with...
should ask, it'll say. I found this.
I go insane. But this thing like this, what is it with people wanting to quantify every aspect of their, even people, I know a lot of people with their watches now and other devices, they're looking at how many steps they take, what their heart rate is, what their sleep, I would lose my mind if I started looking at like graphs of how of my shit, for God's sake, or my hydration level. Jesus.
You don't have to put that device on your toilet, and you don't have to check all those things on your phone. What I will say for the Apple Watch is that it's a form of I've fallen and can't get up device.
Yes.
Which I don't mind wearing.
That's true. That's why I got one.
That's why I wear it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I wear it because I'm alone a great deal of the time, and if I fall, I don't necessarily have my phone with me. If this thing is strapped on my wrist, I'm covered. 911 will be here. My kids will be called. It'll all be, there's a good reason to do it.
See, I know. That's why I got an Apple Watch, but I can't get myself. It's sitting on my kitchen counter, and I've never worn it.
Okay, well, you don't have to turn on any of the apps.
But I don't even like to have that damn thing on me. I just, blah. I know. I should. I even have a friend who did fall and broke her hip. And because she had just gotten an Apple Watch, it was, she was able to get pretty quick help. So I know all that's true. I just am so reluctant to, and I keep
but
getting.
Don't you have one of those stupid vacuum cleaners? They're
No,
the biggest spy
not
of all.
No, not anymore. I gave it away. I don't have.
Good.
As far as I know, the only thing spying on me here, I guess, is my computer.
Your TV.
My computer
Your TV.
and my TV. Fuck them. And I'm always getting. I do get things like, so and so would like to do. They keep asking for permission to, collect more information on me and stuff.
Yeah,
and I just say,
not.
no, go away. Leave me alone, you fucks. Believe me, they do not have good intent. Just saying. Assholes. Excuse me, I think we have a caller. No, we don't. Yes, we do. I don't know what the hell's going on. Yes, we do. Let's get someone in here. Hello?
Hi, Lynn. My name's Suzanne.
Hi,
I
Suzanne.
just wanted to tell you and your sister that I was really sorry to hear about your mom.
Oh,
and,
thank you.
Thank you.
And to tell you that I agreed with the person yesterday when they were talking about who thought we would ever elect someone for president that was a convicted felon and all of that. So I don't think it's about agreeing with people's differences. I think it's about agreeing with people's humanity.
Yeah, humanity. Exactly. Thank you for that. It's awfully kind.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you were saying yesterday, why do people listen to you? It's because people do want to be seen, but they also want to be heard by someone else who believes that other people should be supported.
Exact. Well, how kind of you.
Good.
And guess what? You got heard today. Good for you. Very few people.
Thank you.
Yeah, very few people do what you just did, which is summon up the courage to call. Thank you thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
kind remarks about
Thank you so much. I've listened to you forever, so it's so
Okay.
nice to talk to you.
Thank you,
Been
sweet.
around forever.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, we all have. Yeah. Thanks, sweetie. I appreciate
All
it.
right, thank
Okay,
you.
bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Aw, a new voice. A new voice. It's nice. No, I mean, it was Larry King who told me, don't ever do your show for the callers. They constitute less than 0.5% of your audience. And it's a good thing to know, but it's a very difficult thing because a caller does, by becoming part of the program, have power. And it's hard. I don't know, but I know he was right about that. But that leaves you guessing as to what everybody else is thinking.
Well, it's just no. What he was saying to you was just keep it in perspective. It's just another variation on my wise old superintendent who used to, who told me the parable of the frogs in the pond, because there were so many of them and they were driving everybody crazy, and they ended up draining the whole pond, and it was one.
It was one?
One frog can make a lot of noise.
Oh,
that's it's the parable. It's the lesson. So yeah, and I mean, told in a different way, in a different context.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to call our callers frogs. That's not what I'm trying to do. But they are a small subset of the audience.
Yeah.
That loom large because we hear them.
Yeah. And we're very grateful for most of them.
Well, you hold the power of the plug.
Yeah, but that's the thing I was never good at, and it's like believe me, I just it's very hard to pull a plug on somebody. It really is. It's not. It's just not nice. I was always blown away by one of my colleague who's beloved. He's now gone for years, Doug Hirth, who on his shows would he saw the callers as part of the show he was putting on, and the minute he felt that a caller was not serving his interests, they were gone. I mean, with no apology, just bang off. And
because he saw the whole thing as a whole, as a product, and if you weren't contributing, out.
That's right. Yeah. So it's Margaret says her watch is great for a baking timer. Well, that's good. Okay.
No, there's all sorts of good things. Now, Margaret, there are all sorts of wonderful things to do with the thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for those people that don't want all that, there's equally a way to get rid of all of it.
I know.
And keep the thing that you want, a watch and a help. Help.
God damn. Anyway. Okay, I have an obit here. Martha Gauthier. Yes, she's French, or was. I just want to... What happened to this woman happened to untold, God knows how many women, men of color, or people who weren't powerful white guys in our history.
Oh, her, yeah.
She was a brilliant researcher, and she discovered all by herself as a young woman, I think she was 25, 26, she took on this job to figure out if there was a genetic component to Down syndrome. It had been posited for years and years and years, and she decided, she was working under some guy at some place in Paris, this is 1956, and she said, I would like to take a whack at that. And he said, yeah, go ahead. And they gave her absolutely no help at all. She had this primitive little office. She had a low-power microscope. She paid for other equipment she needed out of her own pocket. She drew her own blood to feed the cell cultures, and then proceeded to do the tedious scientific work. And then, damn, one day, she got it. Every single cell cultured from children with Down syndrome had an extra chromosome. And she said, yes, I got it. And this guy who had checked in on her work every once in a while, he happened to be around, and she said, I need to get photographs of what we have here. I don't have a camera. I don't have the... He said, I'll take care of it. So this young woman who had just discovered this huge scientific breakthrough handed over her slides to this guy, a guy named Dr. Jerome Lejeune, and he took it and then claimed that he had discovered it.
What a surprise!
Yeah, wrote a paper, put it out, and unbelievably, he got away with it. He was showered with awards all over the world. President Kennedy personally presented him the Kennedy Prize. She, nothing. And did she say anything? No. Because she knew that speaking up, this 25-year-old girl,
no one would believe her.
No one would believe her. The men, she was the only woman. All the men would, and the thing is, it happened almost exactly the same. This is happening in Paris. Meanwhile, just across the way in Britain, you had another woman, scientist, Rosalind Franklin, who photographed the DNA double helix.
Oh, right. And we all come up with her name first.
No, you can't. You don't. You get Watson and Crick.
You get Watson and Crick.
Who, one of their male colleagues grabbed her stuff and gave it to Watson and Crick, which they used without her knowledge, the picture, determining the double helix structure, for which they got, of course, the Nobel Prize. You wonder how many men are credited in history for things they literally stole from people under them. This would be, black people anybody who didn't have the status of a white male. And the New York Times acknowledges that in their obituary of this Lejeune, the thief, they gave him sole credit. He had a big obit in the New York Times, and saying that he had found the cause of Down syndrome. The Catholic Church was looking into making him a saint. Pope Francis had already bestowed the title venerable on him, which is one of the first steps in attaining sainthood. But what happened is, as the 50th anniversary of the discovery came around, she, now a woman in her 80s, just could not keep quiet anymore. Can you imagine she lived with this, never receiving any credit? So she spoke out finally. And man, his family came after her. He had a foundation. They came after her. It was not, I mean, all in all, she still sort of took it on the chin. In 2014, the French Federation gave her a medal to honor her for the Down syndrome discovery. And they invited her to give a speech. And literally hours before she was to speak, they canceled it because his family had threatened to sue them. God, you wonder. You just wonder. Mark?
Who was it that there was just a book out by another woman that they cataloged something, all the stolen scientific discoveries by women. I mean, there's a book full of them.
Yeah. Well, who is that? What about like Perry at the North Pole and the black guy who was with him? Henson.
Right. Well, that's right. Or the slave that made bourbon. The Jack Daniels took credit.
Well, but you think all the... What was it? And just there was something in the paper today about some slave who made these beautiful pots, and Harvard or something had them. And I mean, I don't know. People who did astonishing work and never, ever received any remuneration or any of what was due them because they were stolen from them. Mord says, when I mentioned Doug Hirth, he says, makes me think of the bit Doug did where he asked callers to call other shows and tell them that they only said that because they heard Doug Hirth say it. I didn't know he did that.
That's terrible.
I didn't know he did that. Oh, he Oh man. Okay. So, when I first saw a headline about this, when I'm about to go into here, Susan, I groaned. Then I read it, and I have a slightly different reaction. This was in Sunday's New York Times Magazine. Don't know if you saw it, but it's about the fact that a lot of women in their 40s and 50s especially are taking a lot of testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you read it. And I thought, what?
I saw it. I didn't read it.
Okay, well,
I've heard about it.
It's amazing.
And I know women that do.
It's amazing. Because what they say is, Well, a lot of them are women who are married, who have lost all sexual desire, which, by the way, the article points out makes perfect sense, because when a woman,
it's normal because they're menopausal and
they're
all their hormones
menopausal,
have
the
disappeared.
hormones are gone. Women just don't. No, there's no reason for it. So, so they take this testosterone and they become like insatiable teenage boys, sexual level.
Great.
Well, no, but they love it.
I mean,
so they love it.
That's fine.
They're wondering. I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And this is so unbelievable, because here's what I didn't. It says here, estrogen is a crucial hormone for men. You don't know it, guys,
Well,
but
that's
you got.
true.
And testosterone is also important for women. For the development of bones, muscles, and for our sexual function. Now, testosterone in women, the levels in our bodies peaks in our late teens and early 20s, and then starts a slow decline. So that by the age of about 60, women's testosterone levels are not non-existent, but they're half of what they were. Now, men, you guys start out young adulthood with 10 times the testosterone levels of women. And the reality is that if men start having impacts from because their testosterone levels go down as well. And what has happened? We're subjected to how many commercials on television for men with low libidos, right? How many drugs are there for guys? The FDA, it turns out, has approved more than 30 products for men's low testosterone. Do you know how many products the FDA has approved for women's low?
Let me guess. None.
Yeah. Exactly correct. 30 for men, 0 for women, even though women's testosterone levels decline much more precipitously than men's, and there are consequences.
Yeah, but nobody wants an old woman anyway, so,
well,
why do they care?
Well, it's not so. And here the thing is, without FDA approval, so women go and say, hey, I'd like to have a little testosterone. Doctors won't prescribe it because insurance won't cover it. And so the women who are doing this testosterone are getting it from, places that are nutritionists, spas, wellness centers, and they're getting often doses much higher than what is standard. And it says here that on the Real Housewives of Orange County, 3 of the women stars of that are using testosterone. One of whom said,
well, there's an endorsement for you.
One of them said, I had to take my mine down, her levels down, because she said, I was just humping everything.
Oh, disgusting.
I know. Listen to this. Right after she got her first dose, this is classic, her family noticed she was considerably more opinionated and would argue her points with fierce intensity. Testosterone. So the side effects are you become more like a guy. You start mansplaining, and you want to do it all the time. Just saying. It turns out that Procter & Gamble went to the FDA in 20 years ago with a patch that they had created that would, pull up a woman's testosterone levels. And the FDA refused to sign off on it because they said the increase in women's sexual encounters, which was clear from all the studies, was not enough in the absence of longer-term safety studies about the drug. By the way, that was not their response when somebody came up with Viagra. No, they didn't require more longer-term safety studies. But when something comes down the pike for women's sexual satisfaction, the FDA has said every single time, no.
Yeah, but I mean, Lynn, the fact that this is about testosterone is very interesting and all that, but there are far worse consequences for women's health than this attitude, that floats across all research for women.
Yep.
So that the only place that gets more than its share of research for women is breast cancer. And I would posit that that's because men value women's breasts.
Probably true.
Otherwise, how many years did it take for them to suddenly be telling women, "Oh, your heart attacks present differently"?
Yeah, right. I know. So, right, women, you don't know. Women's, all they tell us is, no matter whatever it is you're feeling, that could be a heart attack. They don't. I mean, it's so amorphous.
Or you could be hysterical. It could
you can all be hysteria. But you're right. So I'm just saying. Now there, whatever. And it says here that several of the women that are taking this testosterone and are loving it are from conservative religious communities, a lot of Mormon women into it. And they're also politically oppose gender affirming care, and yet they're taking testosterone at levels comparable to those that a trans man takes. I don't know, you can't. I just wanted to let you know, if there's any women out there who do, you've lost your desire, but you'd like to maybe find it again.
Yeah, I mean,
this
has been around for a very, very long time, and you can actually talk to your doctor about it.
Yeah, but they're saying in this article, most doctors will not prescribe it.
Say doctors prescribe
they
it,
won't
I'll pay for it.
No, well, but you do. You have to pay. And
so you pay.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm going to suggest that that most of the women that want to get testosterone are capable of paying for it. I just, it's functioning. It's like the housewives of South Orange.
Okay.
Or South County or whatever it is, Orange County.
They also find themselves growing hair in places they don't want it, and they also their voices get deeper. But man, here's one other thing from the article. One woman recalls when she realized she wanted to lower her dose because she injured her back having sex with her husband in their car. She had instructed him, pull over, unable to wait. She had to have sex with him at that minute. That is how intense her sexual libido had become. And there's a lot of very funny stories about that kind of thing. But I'm just thinking for some marriages, this can be a big issue.
A huge benefit.
Well, and a lot of one woman says that now, she never really wanted her husband to come anywhere near her, and now she worries that she's coming at him too often, more than he wants. Just saying, if this is good information for any of you, Susan and I don't give a damn, but yeah.
Yeah, we're in our post-mating phase.
Yeah, it's just like, fuck it. Yeah, really.
No, not really. It's not like that at all.
No, it's just, who told me? Somebody told me, some woman said the other day that something, she said, it's better than sex. And it was something, really rather mundane. And I texted back, I wouldn't know. So, okay, so there's all of that. Ay. What else we got here? Have you heard this horrific, I don't know if this is out there. Because I don't watch news anymore, so I don't know what people, I should. That's where I sort of letting down on the job, in that I'm not watching news, so I don't know what news is presenting, because I can't bear watching it.
Well, I feel pretty much the same way.
It's not just, the usual, Trumpian crapola. It's that they just don't cover stuff they should.
No, they don't. It's like watching, like watching Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like a bad local news show. It's ambulance chasing. I
actually find local news these days
better,
more informative. Yes.
Wow, it's just unbelievable. So I can't watch. I just cannot watch. But where did I find this thing? So there was a Halloween parade. I don't know how much. Guys, tell me if this got attention. The Halloween parade in, I think, Hanover, Pennsylvania, which I think is sort of way off to the east. And when I first read it, I couldn't believe it. Somebody took a picture of a float. They had a Halloween parade, and it was sponsored, I don't know, some, group. But there was a float in it, a big float, that had a replica of the entrance to Auschwitz.
Well, for heaven's sakes.
That the one that scrolling thing that it has in German, work makes you free.
Yeah.
Yeah? There it was, and it's being hauled, down this. Yeah, and it turns out that was the float that was put in by St. Joseph High School, a local high school, Catholic high school, Harrisburg area. How is that even? How does that? What?
Well, what happened?
Well, I don't. Okay, so it says here the diocese immediately went berserk. The Most Reverend Timothy Sr., Bishop of Harrisburg, issued a statement. I was shocked and appalled to learn that the Halloween parade float from St. Joseph Catholic School in Hanover, included the Auschwitz. The inclusion of this image, one that represents horrific suffering and murder of millions of innocent people, is profoundly offensive and unacceptable. And, they apologized up and down, blah, 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 blah.
Where were the faculty advisors?
Yeah, right. That's what. I don't know.
That doesn't happen in a vacuum. I'm
no,
sorry.
People have to know. A lot of people saw it,
People in control knew.
And it went down the street in the parade. Nobody went nuts.
Well, part of that is ignorance. They don't know.
The reason it finally got is some guy took what I saw. Some guy took a picture and put it on social media and said, "Do you believe this?" Now, I guess some guy has come up and taken responsibility and said he didn't realize and yada, yada. I don't know. But, wow. In a day and age when we are seeing, Tucker Carlson normalizing now, Nick Fuentes, and the Heritage Foundation coming on board for Tucker, and the right, they're saying Charlie Kirk, now dead, is being replaced by Nick Fuentes, who's just an out and out Nazi,
white supremacist.
He was at in Charlottesville at that deadly rally. He was one of the fine people there. So, the Republican Party and its warm embrace of Nazis. I mean, you've seen. I mean, I haven't referred to all these things where Trump nominates somebody for a position of authority in the government, and then they end up having to withdraw them. And for Trump
they're Nazis.
Because they're Nazis. Yeah. I mean, Trump to withdraw, backtrack on anything is amazing, and I'm sure he didn't want to. And he never gets rid of these people. He lets them stay in the administration in whatever capacity they were at. The administration is riddled with out and out white nationalists, Jew haters, racists. Exactly.
Even Missouri couldn't tolerate.
Right.
I mean, even Missouri couldn't tolerate Ed Martin and Lewandowski. And they're very high up in this administration.
Yeah. No, I know. This is where did I just see? Somebody said that Barry Weiss coming into CBS. That almost all of the people who have lost their jobs there I think specifically at 60 Minutes or at CBS, are all black or women.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Gayle King.
Did she lose her job?
Well, they said not really. She's still under contract, and there are discussions about it. I mean, because people are going, really, even Gayle King? Oprah couldn't prevent.
No, I mean, it's just beyond belief how open they are about their racism. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
This is across the board, and don't make fun of me for saying this, but they are all of those stupid home improvement shows on HGTV. They canceled half of them, and every single one that they canceled were either gay people or people of color. God. Across the board, they kept blonde women. And it was just so obvious. It was just totally obvious.
Just out and out racists. Anyway, I think we're pretty much done here. Let me just catch up on your chat, guys. Laura says many things in life are better than sex. That is true. Wait, yeah. Oh, without a doubt, yeah. Brooke writes, make sure your thyroid's functioning properly and all your hormones are in balance. I have no desire and don't want any. I'm widowed and old. LOL. Me too, writes someone else. All the women are saying they're agreeing with Susan. What? We don't want no stinking libido. We like our low libidos. But I'm just saying, for women in marriages with husbands who still do, if testosterone allows you to enjoy sex again, well, then what the heck?
Yeah, that's
Right.
That's wonderful, right?
Yeah, wonderful. But
Because,
just,
I mean, I can remember back to a loving, committed relationship, and that's part of it,
yeah, yeah. Okay, guys, that's it. Geez, we went.
It's also why I don't want another loving, committed relationship.
If I
don't
ever,
even want to.
if I marry,
I don't even want a new doctor.
no, I know. If I want to ever marry again, I want to marry a gay man. I do.
Yeah, that would be good.
Wouldn't that be perfect?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just telling you gay guys out there, if you want to be married,
Anybody need a beard? Call in.
No one needs a beard anymore. Or maybe they will,
No.
given that, no.
Well, they might again.
They
again.
might. You might. One never knows. Okay, guys, that's it. Suze,
Okay.
thank you. Are you going back to? Are you going back to war-torn Chicago?
I think I
Yeah.
will, but I might shoot on to. I might do a little traveling.
Okay.
And go see some people that I haven't seen in a while. So
Go
we'll
for
see.
it. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. And that's it for me, guys. I should return tomorrow, as far as I know. It's my intent. This damn outro won't ever play when I want it to.
Live.
Yeah.
Monday
yeah.
through Thursday from
Right.
10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.